Well, hey there, and welcome back to the Midwest Basement, where we celebrate Midwest taste in a classic Midwest environment. Happy September, folks. September means the small humans are back at school and everyone's excited to wear jeans and flannels again. But it's still 85 degrees out with 85% humidity. That's September for you. Well, we've got some good, refreshing back to school transition picks for you this month. But first, a quick reminder that we are not sponsored here at Barely Palatable. We just like supporting local beverage companies, and we want good people like you to always drink local. And with that, let's start with our beer pick for the month. We will start out with the Belgian-style Saison Ale from Oso Brewing, named Picnic Ants. Now, this might be a little bit more of a nod back to summer than it is to fall, but like I said, September is a transition period. Plus, let's be real, the picnics at kids' all-day-long sporting tournaments could use a good beer. So Picnic Ants is a Saison Ale, and it is very true to the style. This also makes it a farmhouse ale, and I would say that's an accurate category as well. Fun fact, Saisons are a subcategory of farmhouse ales, which means all Saisons are farmhouse ales, but not all farmhouse ales are Saisons. This particular Saison is said to have wonderful aromas of pear, citrus rind, fresh cut grass, and some earthy spice. It sits at about 6%, so while it's not a crushable yard work beer, I wouldn't want that from a farmhouse Saison anyways. This is from Oso Brewing, which is located in the middle of nowhere, Wisconsin. Sorry, I meant Plover, Wisconsin. Sorry, Plover. They've been brewing since 2007, and it started the way most craft breweries do, in a garage. Owners Mark and Katina Butera were first avid homebrewers, which led to avid business owners. By 2013, they were the fastest growing brewery in the state, and in 2022, they moved into new, cool, giant digs. They took over a good portion of a strip mall in Plover, Wisconsin, and have made great use of the space. It's massive. They've got projectors for tons of sports fans, 2 huge bars, areas for cornhole, bingo, all of the yard games you might want, and an independent pizza kitchen. A strong recommendation if you happen to be in the middle of nowhere, which, to be fair, is actually directly south of Stevens Point. So let's crack her and see if this Saison is saying something. Nice crack. Very yeasty smell. Yeah, that's a yeasty ale. Honestly, from the nose of it, it smells more like a farmhouse ale than a Saison, but let's give her a check. Ooh. Wow, that is refreshing. While it smells yeasty and looks almost like an American light lager, it is not. It is really light, but man, that packs a punch. There is some malty, yeasty flavors in there, but honestly, there is definitely a lot of fruit in there, and that little kind of funky Saison flavor that you get. So yes, absolutely, smack dab in the style of farmhouse ale, delicious, light, does not taste like 6%, so I will say be careful of that one. Honestly, a great picnic beer, so spot on, Oso. Cheers to the last dregs of summer, right? All right, on to the vino. So this month is actually something special because we have a wine from Minnesota. And I think this will be the first non-Badger wine that we have on the Midwest Basement, so exciting. And actually, it is a very Minnesota wine. It's called Gunflint, it has a picture of a lake on front, and the description is cabin-based. Anywho, this is the Gunflint white wine from Cannon River Winery. It is made with the Frontenac Gris grape and is described as having aromas of peach and apricot with just hints of tropical fruit. It does not clarify as to whether it is a sweet or dry white wine, so we'll have to figure that out when we pop her. Fun fact, this grape varietal is actually a mutation of the Frontenac grape, which was actually bred by the University of Minnesota's horticultural research team. About as Midwestern as you can get. So let's talk about Cannon River Winery. The winery is located in Cannon Falls, not Cannon River, almost got you there, Cannon Falls, Minnesota, which is located in the Sognon Valley of Minnesota. Obviously, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Minnesotans, please chime in. It's S-O-G-N, Valley. Cannon River has over 9,000 vines on a 40-acre vineyard. And they also have a winery in downtown Cannon Falls, where they offer tastings and have a restaurant named Bitchin' Kitchen. You can't make this stuff up, folks. So let's pop her and see if we get those peach, apricot, and pineapple notes that we heard about. Ooh, that was a nice pop. Oh, wow. Yeah, you get those aromas. That's not joking around. Wow, that's fragrant. It is very straw in color. I know I said this already, but yeah, she smells. It smells really tropically. You know what? If I didn't know, I might say this is a Sauv Blanc, except for the fact that it also smells sweet. So it smells like it has some sugar in it. Sauv Blancs don't normally. They're really dry. But this one has the tropical aromas of that, just with the sweetness added in. Oh, wow, that's not what I was expecting. From the sweet fruit smell, I was expecting sweet fruit. But I will say this has a huge kick of acidity right up front. So while I have let it sit, more of the sweetness comes through on the back end. This is almost tart up front. That almost has so much acidity that you can feel your mouth salivating a little bit, the back of your mouth salivating a little bit when you take your first sip. It's kind of fun. I wouldn't say it's sour though, so don't worry about that. It is not sour, just lots of acid in the wine, which is making it really bright and exciting. It's not cloyingly sweet. I was a little worried about that when I smelled it. I don't have this chilled, and I think with it slightly chilled, that would come through even more. This is quite good. Really excellent summer wine, especially if it was chilled. Although I will say, not being chilled, it's pretty good. I kind of like it. I can almost see having it around a campfire on a slightly crisp early fall evening, so I totally picked this for the right month. And it would be delicious because it has those memories of summer, but there's something a little bit deeper, I think, from those maybe tiny bit of residual sugars that are left over. Yeah. All right, now to round out our picks for the month, we have a delicious fall-ish type rye for you. This is the Downtown Toodaloo Rock and Rye from Crosse Distilling. Now, before you click away saying, well, I don't like rye, it's too spicy, let me tell you, this is not your normal rye. That's right, folks, I don't know if you can tell, but I may have snuck in and already done a tiny little tasting of this one. And I'm very glad I did, because I will tell you, it's different. I bought this month, honestly, because we were out of a bourbon and rye and wanted to get a bourbon and rye, so I said, why don't we get a local bourbon and rye? Well, this is definitely a rye, but it's been distilled with a lot more interesting things than just your typical rye. So why is it different? This was distilled with rye, as you can get from the name, but also with orange, maple syrup, cranberries, lemon peel, and honey. Different. So it's almost like a liqueur, but strong still. The description says it was distilled with inspiration from 19th century pharmacists who served medicinal liqueur to treat ailments like the common cold. So you heard it here first, folks. Rye is good for your health. Now, Crosse Distilling is located in, yep, that's right, La Crosse, Wisconsin. They're located right in the heart of the Driftless region and take an enormous amount of pride in partnering with local family farms. They have a distillery and tasting room combo with food, cocktails, and tours available in downtown La Crosse. And the distillery is actually geothermal powered, which I just thought was really cool. I haven't seen that from any of the other distilleries or breweries. So, like I said, I already had a teeny taste of this, and let me tell you, the fruits and the honey really do come through. So today, instead of trying this just straight, we're going to have a little fun. So we're gonna make the first cocktail that immediately sprung into my head when I had my first sip of this. We're gonna make a mean old-fashioned with this. All right, no one from Wisconsin judge my old-fashioned. This is just how I make them. I know literally every dive bar and home makes them differently. We're gonna start with a little bit of sugar and soak that in the Angostura bitters. Now we're gonna muddle that up and then add our ice. Then we add 2 ounces of the Rock and Rye and stir until chilled. Now, I will tell you right away, we are making a straight old-fashioned. We're not diluting it, as a lot of bars do with 7-Up or Squirt. Whew. That smells like something. Glass, strainer, pour. Now, this is why most restaurants and dive bars in Wisconsin serve this drink over ice and with a dilutant like Squirt or 7-Up, depending on if you like it sweet or sour. But this is a real old-fashioned. But if you watch my cocktail videos, you know it is not done until a garnish. All right, and there you have it, our Rock and Rye Old Fashioned. Ever since I had a sneak taste of this, I have been wanting to make an old fashioned, so let's give her a shot. Oh, that is so good. I adore this, and I think I adore this especially in this kind of an old fashioned. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not pooping on the other type of old fashions. I love 2-3 of those down at my local dive bar on a Friday night with some fish fry. However, when you want something packed full of flavor with really good booze in it, a downtown Toodaloo Rock and Rye old fashioned, that'll do it for you. It's so fun because the flavors of the old fashioned that you oftentimes have to use adjuncts for, they're just right there. Oh yeah, well, with an old fashioned in hand, folks, I suppose it's time to get going. So watch for deer on your way out and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a taste. And I will see everyone for Oktoberfest. I mean, in October. Cheers.